So we have been like planning to do this since a very long time, and now we have so much to talk about that finally we are doing it. And here we are. Uh, Finally, you have set up this. You've done an amazing work. So thank you so much. And yeah, considering like a like the journey we began maybe you know around maybe somewhere around 2020, and with covid and all that, we just kept learning, moving. We traveled a lot in the last 2 3 years more. um, we met a lot of people, and there was so much awakening, and we came to learn about so many things. How, like, visiting people, learning about learning spaces, doing these learning yatras. And do you feel now more stable and calm than we were maybe even 1 year back?
Like stable in the sense, what type of stable? Like in the mind stable? So yeah, the mind is quite stable. Like before we were, where should we live and where should we go and what is the best place for us in the summers, but now we have found a good place in Chandigarh. It's an Airbnb, guys. So yeah, it's pretty nice over here, and yeah, obviously it's more the mind feels more stable and calm now for the both of us actually.
Yeah, I think more than that, what I feel is, like just finding any space. Like if we realize that what are the basic necessities, I think peace would be the topmost thing that I would say that we really need peace, right? Where we are not, we don't have to deal with any kind of chaotic situations, but we cannot completely avoid. And like with that, when we came to Chandigarh, we were like, okay, this place is nice, and we have access to everything. We were cooking and just beginning, and then we hear on 7th May that there's going to be
War.
there's going to be a war. I mean, least expected thing, yeah.
Like we were in Delhi for like 4 days. So for like on the 1st of May, mom. So you remember, right? We went out of the train and we were so excited that we're going to go to Chandigarh after Delhi. And then in 4 days in Delhi, we had a lot of good experiences. We can talk about that before going to the war part. So like we were staying in a hotel, and we went to a lot of places in Delhi that I wanted to go to, like India Gate. There was Red Fort, Qutub Minar, like all the main places. And then there was some markets, Sarojini Market and Lajpat Nagar and Janpath and Palika Bazaar. And there was one sad thing about Delhi, that I lost my really nice watch, which my mom gave me. It was second hand, but yeah, I think if I get it in my bags, it's really nice. But I think I lost it in Delhi.
Yeah, so we had a good time, and I mean, traveling uh, has been very something that we really look forward to, uh, like throughout the year. We are kind of people, I think, who can travel throughout the year. But we also realize that, like, before you find what you need, you have to struggle. You have to be lost.
Stranded on the road. Like now, what should I do? Like
Yeah, you have to face all those situations to understand that, hey, I don't want this. I thought this was fun. I thought that taking my bag and going to every mountain possible was fun, till we thought that no, this is not.
we traveled 120 plus days to understand this actually, like more than 120 days.
Yeah, for continuous, the longest was 79 days, but it'll be way more than 120 days. Uh, but going to different places, I think it just, I don't know what it does to you. It does something to you, but very difficult to explain what it does to you. But it definitely does more than what a textbook can teach you.
Yes.
Because real life situations, when you really face, being stranded somewhere, or not getting a bus, or not having a booking in a certain place, uh, it's completely different than what you and me can just sit here and imagine, I guess, right? I mean, went to South. Like this year early, we were in Oroville. Does it seem like it was this year? It seems like it was somewhere, you know. And we tried to test all these places.
Really, this year? I really can't believe, like, really.
How was your like experience in Oroville for 4 days?
It was nice, but the thing was, it was really hot there. But I was having fun because I rented a cycle. So my mom can't cycle, so she was like walking like this all the time. And then my mom was like, "Oh no, now I can't walk." Like we had a plan for staying for a few more days, but my mom was like, "I can't walk more. Now let's go back," because my mom was completing 2.5, 3 kilometers per day, which is
And that was not the only reason. I mean, uh, our internet was also not great,
Yeah,
right? And
right.
so we were like facing some issues with the internet. But it is good to go and enjoy for a couple of days.
vacation.
Yeah, it's like a vacation place.
Yeah, it's really great for cycling, guys. So if you're a cycling fan, go there for a few days or few months.
But I don't like the dryness there. It's like it seems very dry and hot.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of hot places for some reason. So, not to like say that there is 40-degree outside, and I really hate it. I can hardly touch the windows. I have some issues
Hot.
with the heat.
Yeah, it is actually really hot.
I know. You can hardly see anyone moving outside. Like 2 months in India, May and June.
There are just cars zooming by in speed. Like there's no Chandigarh I'm talking about. There is no pedestrian. Like in the evening, once the sun starts to settle down, there are a few people buying some vegetables or going to the market for some fun or something. But right now in the afternoon, it's like fully empty, the road.
Yeah, so yes, having said that, I think when we came to Chandigarh and we heard about the blackout on 7th, it was kind of scary, and we were like, what am I supposed to do? Why are we here?
Actually, the first place was I didn't actually know why the blackout was happening. Like there was just a video of they were saying you need to black out, you need to turn off the headlights and you need to turn off all the lights. I was like, it's just something like for the satellite show, like you can see something from the satellite. I thought it was just some fun thing, but little did I know it would become a war situation.
Yeah, and I think what happened was then there was all this news about this is going to close down, the airports were closed down, and people were talking about why did you come to this place and all that. And we were like, hey, what have we done? Like, why we have come here out of all the places to get stuck in a war situation, and then at night you're hearing about air sirens, and then
Air raid sirens
plus drones being spotted here and there, and suddenly like we were sitting and we just went out and we saw that there was a complete blackout, and like we opened the news and we saw that the local authorities have asked us to close everything, lights and stuff. We just switched off light, and you were so scared. You're like, why? I don't want to stay here. Let's go back. And I was like, okay, let's wait. And thankfully, we just discovered around 10th, I think, that things are going to be fine, isn't it? 10th or 11th?
Yeah, by 10th I was not little calm, and then by 11th everything was sorted. And the recording day of this is 15th, so right now everything is really nice. On the evening, it's so nice to see that street lights and every house's lights are now on. And yeah, actually, I'll also be displaying a note I wrote while the war was happening about I was feeling scared, so that I'm going to display. Plus, yeah, there was one night where it was almost midnight and there's nothing coming, and we were doing like literally like we didn't do smart planning, so there was no water. We just had a bit of water in a bottle. We had 10 9% in our phones, which was, and especially iPhones, when you need the battery it starts draining. I have no idea why. And yeah, Also, I was talking about like
Yeah. So I think that situation was quite overwhelming, and also in such situations, you come to know a lot about people that we were writing to, right? Who were replying to us. Like we had made some escape plans that we could do this. We alternate paths, and the brain starts working in a survival mode. Like you go back to
in Minecraft.
like your hunter gatherer mode, where the way we have evolved, the first thing is that you really want to be safe. And I think that's the survival mode that you get into, where you don't think.
Comes from our ancestors.
Yeah.
Still something in our brain.
Yeah, you are basically not thinking of anything else. You are just in a rush to save yourself first. And I remember you saying that, Ma, but I said, oh, this is fine, this place is fine, and all that. And you were like, but Ma, this is not safe. Safety is important. And because we were worried, right, that if we go, I mean, I was also worried that if I start rushing, how will be the situation in the station, because I don't want to get stuck into those kind of situation where people are running, not getting tickets. So yeah, that was a very different kind of experience, not expected at all, that we will come here and we'll experience India Pakistan war. And like out of all the things that we have faced in our travels, this was like the scariest, because the problem was not that things were happening, the problem is the unpredictability. Like we don't know like what is going to happen, because suddenly it was escalating so fast. And it was it was, yeah, it was, and family calls you and say, hey, why are you there, just come back, just come back. And then you have to hold on, and you're like, no, it's okay.
Especially on war situations, the government does as much as they can to keep the civilians wherever they are. Like there are, yeah, you can escape, but it's now really tough, because I heard that times, because of Punjab universities, like the students there, they hopped on to like go to near their families. So the Chandigarh bus station was full. I don't know the train station's situation. Airport was closed. It opened a few days back. Actually, if the war would have been escalated, the government gave an order that it would open today, which is 15th. And if it would have escalated more than 15th, it would have been like really scary.
Talking to people also was very scary. I remember we went out and we were talking to some people, and they were like, hey, we are all escaping and it's very scary and this is going to happen. And in my village this thing is happening, that thing is happening, because people were scared because of corona. Some people were stranded, some people had to walk to their villages because suddenly the government had shut down everything. So this situation might come, and then there's a panic. You start panicking. Like we were constantly talking to ChatGPT. We were constantly brainstorming with ChatGPT.
Thank you so much, man, for ChatGPT. Like it's just like a really intellectual. It's just like a really intellectual friend, and when you want to make it dumb, you can also make it dumb, which is the best part.
Yeah, and I remember ChatGPT constantly telling us that stay there, it's okay, because you are protected and all that.
I asked ChatGPT without saying I'm living in Chandigarh that what are the safest city. Search online of like what's happening in the war and tell me the safest city. So in the top 10 Chandigarh was there, and I was like, what, I'm in Chandigarh and I'm panicking. And it was like, no need to panic, cause the army of Chandigarh is really strong. If any missile comes, they have I think a 3 or 4 layer system to intercept or just shoot down the missile. And I was like, then I got a little calm, because ChatGPT was it was insisting so much that I actually believed in it, and it was right. So yeah.
So basically, this travel became a mix of adventure, war, survival, and everything, and that can lead to a very good thumbnail, I'm sure. But I could just visualize the thumbnail. Anyways,
again, our intellectual friend ChatGPT will help.
Yeah, so I think with this, I think we can wrap this up, and I think it was very important to share this reflection of our travels and to share with people that, you know, um in life, I think we were, I don't know, watching this movie yesterday, and this lady keeps saying, no, not Queen, I think it was Shakuntala Devi, and this lady keeps saying that, you are not a tree, so
Yeah, you don't have roots, you have legs, you're not a tree.
so you can just I think I'm going to take it really to heart because I feel that
Actually, it's relatable.
it's relatable that we need to keep moving, and I think it is very different for different people, and for us it works that we move around, we learn from people. There are challenges in every place, and also to understand a city, I think it's not just going and staying for a couple of days, moving to the tourist spots, and it makes more sense, I think, when we stay for a longer time, we understand the city, we learn a little more about the city and the people. Even if you are by yourself and people around you are not, somewhere where you can't just go and keep meeting people all the time, but you can start understanding the culture and things like that. It takes time, and but it totally depends on people and their choices. Yeah.
It was great sharing our journey about how we started this journey for Chandigarh, the war, and it was a really fun experience to share our thoughts. So, yeah, this is for today. Bye. See you next time. Make sure to subscribe.